cancellations. We're going to start and stop some restarts with this. I am hoping that this is working for us now because I wanted to talk about cruising and the suspensions and what's happening because there's been a lot of chat about that recently with the cruise lines. And things are dynamic. They're changing all the time. So the key thing is to keep up to date. The information I have in this presentation was compiled as of 11 p.m. last night. So things may have changed since I last reviewed this presentation. We're going to start out with CLIA. And CLIA represents 95% of the global ocean-going cruise capacity. So there you go. Almost any cruise you go on in the waters, CLIA's involved. Now we've got CLIA coming out with these new provisions they want to see in place going forward to get the cruise industry up and running again. Going forward, they want testing of 100% of all passengers and crew. Everyone must have a negative COVID-19 test. Everyone must wear masks where physical distancing cannot be maintained. Places such as terminals, on the ships, private islands, and during shore excursions. And I'm going to touch on that one again a little later. They're looking at air management and ventilation in the ship, how they handle medical cases, and the need for any quarantines and dedicated cabins. And once again, we got the new protocols for shore excursions. And yes, the denial of reboarding for passengers that do not comply. It's already happened. MSC has been operating the Grandiosa for about, I think, 7 sailings now. Their guests are all from the EU, strictly. There are no North Americans or people from outside of the EU on that ship. And not all that long ago, there was a family that went on the organized shore excursion, and they did a little deviation. They went and explored a little elsewhere. They strayed. These shore excursions are organized by the ship. You must stay with your tour guide. You have to stay in your newly created bubble. So basically, by departing from the organized shore excursion, this family broke from the social bubble created for them and all the other guests, therefore could not be permitted to reboard the ship. At the end of the day, they had to find their own way home. They were not allowed back on the MSC Grandiosa. There you go. Now I'm going to fly through these, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will help you find the latest up-to-date information. Again, this is what I found as of last night around 11 p.m. I'm hoping my slides are alphabetical. So here we go. AMA Waterways. They have currently suspended everything through to November 15th. This is of particular interest to myself because I had a sailing that was to depart on the 22nd of November. Well, I have a Christmas markets group that is going, and I was able to have it moved to next November. However, for those people that may not want to travel on the sailing next November, they would prefer an FCC, a future cruise credit. Waterways is issuing them at a value of 115% of all funds received, all funds. Some of the cruise lines say all funds they have received. Other cruise lines will say strictly the cruise fare. And there are different conditions. So listen on. Avalon Waterways. What's different about Avalon Waterways, right now they've only canceled everything through to October. Again, this is dynamic. It could change. But should you get a credit from Avalon Waterways, you can use it on any of the Globus family of products. So, of course, you could book another Avalon Waterways sailing. You can go on a Globus land tour, a Cosmos tour, monograms, which is their individually guided, and, of course, again, the Avalon Waterways. And these will be valid for departures up to the end of 22. And it's transferable, and there will be a bonus of $200 per person. Azamara. Azamara is one of the sister companies with Royal Caribbean Celebrity. And all three of them have the lift and shift. With Azamara, you can move your booking into 21 at the current price. What's a little different between Azamara and the other two is this plus or minus one sale night. I really like that. The others have it just plus or minus 4 weeks of the original sale date. If you're unsure, you want to try a different itinerary, you may opt for the 125 future cruise credit to be used by the end of next year, to be booked by the end of next year for departures going until the end of April of 22, or you can request a 100% refund of what you have paid. Again, I'm just going to fly through this because there is just so much. I am putting this up onto YouTube, so if you want to take a peek later. Carnival. Carnival, there I've got many slides for Carnival because they have a lot of inventory. They have a lot of ships. But as you can see, there are varying, staggering, different departures based on the ship. And right now, what we do know is nothing's happening much in October. But again, as you can see, there's a lot of different ships, a lot of different sail dates. There you go. If the ship isn't mentioned, it's canceled through to December 31st. And I just grabbed this screenshot off of the Carnival website. Basically explains what they're offering for people who are canceling. Celebrity. If you had booked before November, well, anytime up until this November, you can cancel up until 48 hours prior to your sailing and receive a full cruise fare credit. And you can use that for a future cruise until May 4th of 22. They do have the lift and shift. Has to be the same itinerary type and length. So if you are looking to rebook an 11-night sailing, you have to find another 11-night sailing, not a 10, not a 12. That is particular to Azamara. With Celebrity, it has to be of the same length and within the same 4-week period. And you can ship them until 20 of 22. Celestial. I just want to throw it out there that next week, Celestial Cruises is going to be my guest on my travel chat. I'm really looking forward to that. I have a group going next July. We booked this sailing on the Celestial Cristal. She's now being retired. They have acquired a new ship. She's all revamped, and it'll be the Celestial Experience, and we are looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Still a small ship. It's getting into the ports where the big guys aren't going to be able to fit. And Celestial, if your sailing has been suspended, they're offering 120% credit of the original booking value. And you have until the end of 21 to redeem this FCC on any itinerary through to the end of December of 22. And here we go. Cristal, their yacht voyages, FCC's up to 125%. They're going to be, I'm wondering if that's a typo. I've got that they're valid up until December of 2023. I'm going to have to double check that. And the coupons are made up of 100% of your future cruise payment and 25% bonus. And they can be used together or separately if you like. Cristal also has ocean voyages, and they're canceled through the end of December of this year. This year again, 125% FCC, and no, must be right because I'm seeing the December 2023 date again. Cunard has paused operations, And again, they too are offering an FCC. I'm sorry, I forgot to put in the rate here. They're good for future bookings. You can use it to upgrade an existing booking. You can split it amongst different bookings. And there you go. Not quite sure about the rate. I'll have to look into that. The celebrity suspensions. They've suspended all sailings on or before the 30th of November, excluding Hong Kong. And those from that touch on Australia and New Zealand through to the end of this year, and their full 2021 winter program in Australia and Asia. Disney, the Fantasy is canceled through the 6th of December, the Dream and Wonder through the 11th, and the Magic through the 12th. Emerald Waterways and Scenic. If you're not familiar with Emerald Waterways, they're the kind of on par with a Viking ship. And Scenic would be their higher end product, sort of like a Uniworld. They've suspended everything up until October 31st. Again, this is likely to be very dynamic and changed. And their land programs have been suspended through to the end of this year. They're offering 110% future cruise credit. And again, lots of detail. Holland America. They have paused everything through to the 15th of December. They are offering an FCC of 125% of the base cruise fare paid. So not full amounts paid, that'd be your base cruise fare paid. Your taxes would be refunded to you. These amounts can then be applied to a new booking for sailings departing through December of 22. The credits, keep in mind, currently they're valid for 12 months from the date of issue. These are things to consider because every cruise line has their own policy. Hurtigruten, they've suspended all but these 4 sailings. If you were booked on one of their expedition cruises, you may request a refund. And the Antarctica expedition cruises departing through to the end of the year have all been canceled. They're offering 125% FCC of what has been paid, plus a future cruise discount of 10%. And they can be used for any expedition or Norwegian coastal cruise. And MSC, all Caribbean and Bahama cruises, including the Maravilla and the Seaside and Harmonia, through to the end of November have been canceled. Their Mediterranean and Far East sailings also through the end of November, with the exception of the Grandiosa and Magnifica. They're going to be doing the Med, but for Schengen countries only. They have canceled all MSC USA guests. The Grandiosa is now on her 7th consecutive 7-night cruise in the Western Med, and the Magnifica, she's set to depart on the 19th of this month. And again, they're only welcoming guests that are resident within the Schengen countries. And if you find that your booking has been canceled, MSC is offering 125% FCC of the original cruise fare paid to be used on a sailing through to the end of next year. Again, it is the fare paid, so any taxes and prepaid items, let's say you purchased a shore excursion, a beverage plan, whatever, that will be refunded. NCL, they've canceled, suspended everything through to the end of this month. Everyone will automatically get an FCC of 125% of the fare paid. And it's valid for a year to be used for voyages through to December 31st of 22. If guests don't want the FCC, they can request a monetary refund. Oceania. Insignia has suspended through April 26th of 21. You're looking at 125% FCC of the cruise fare paid. Princess, they have a couple of their smaller ships leaving the fleet. The Sun Princess and the Sea Princess. Australia through December 18th, 2020, suspended, and also the Early World cruises and Circle South America, the following have been canceled. And there's further suspensions just about everywhere. Again, they're offering an FCC of 125%, and you could use it for any voyage through May 1st of 22. Regent Seven Seas, they're suspended through to November 30th. They're offering what will amount to 125%. They have a 100% FCC plus a bonus of 25. Or if you don't want the FCC, a refund of 100% of what had been paid. Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean also has the lift and shift. So again, if you can find an itinerary of the same length in the same region within 4 weeks of the one that had been suspended, you may move your booking over. Here's a list of some of the cancellations, or shall I say suspensions, with Royal Caribbean. And Seabourn. Seabourn has a few as well. Into 2021, they too are offering an FCC of 125% of the base fare or a refund in full. These FCCs are valid for 12 months from the date of issue. So be mindful of when they are issued, and you may use them to book anything through December 31st of 22. Silversea, they also have quite a few ships. You can see there's varying different suspensions. The whole fleet is suspended through to November 30th, some a little further. And for those that have been suspended, Silversea is offering an FCC up to 110% for those sailings that were canceled up to November 30th. They are transferable. So if you have family and friends that might want to use them instead, there's an option. Uniworld. Uniworld has suspended all their sailings through to October 31st of 2020. They also have a cancellation policy. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can request an FCC or you can rebook. Viking has suspended everything through December 31st, 2020. Just a suspicion of mine, but if Viking has suspended everything through 2020, you might see the other rivers extending as well. Viking is offering a FCC of 125%, and it has to be used within the next 24 months. And if they aren't used, then you'd be looking at a refund. Windstar has canceled all remaining 2020 sailings. They are offering an FCC valid at 125% or refunds at 100%. The FCCs are to be used within 24 months to book and embark on any available Windstar sailing. And that is it in a nutshell. I know it's a lot and it is dynamic, so it changes all the time. If you have any questions, by all means, feel free to reach out to me, and my inbox gets slammed every day with updates from the cruise lines. So if you have any questions, I'm at lbooth@expediacruises.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. And that's it for today. So do take care. Bye.